Hi everyone, welcome to my studio and welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you like my videos. Today I'll be painting daisies during the sunset, uh, but instead painting them on a watercolor paper, I'll be painting them on a Masonite cover with a watercolor ground. And it's a little bit different, and then we'll see how that goes. And I hope you enjoy the presentation and see you at the painting board. Okay, so Daisy being sketched out right now on a watercolor, not paper, but watercolor ground on a Masonite. And the Daisy studying the sunset. And normally I'm just painting like background with cadmium yellow and which gonna be not as strong as on a normal watercolor paper because for some reason this ground doesn't take it well watercolor and when it dry is very light, which is great. I love them. The daisies will be very delicate. Also what I'm doing at the moment, there will be like a first wash. You just put it like you will do on a watercolor paper. I'm using different brushes just to cover and have the idea what will be next. At that moment I'm just putting olive green with touch of lamp black, and I'm just still working the first wash and just give a little ideas what's going on, what will be next. Most people painting daisies usually staring the camera and our viewer. I want to do something different. I want to make the daisy staring the sunset. That's why right now I'm painting the bottom of the flower, and there'll be a lot of lines later on, but at the moment I just want to establish the uh, values of the little daisies and see there will be like a second and third wash, and I'll try and make it stronger. On this particular ground, it's a little bit harder, so you have to kind of keep in mind that if you want to have a little bit darker painting, that maybe is not your ground for the or surface to paint on. Later on, I'll be using also the gouache color paints, and that will to just in the certain areas to make it a little bit darker. And as you see it, I make a daisies a little bit bluish, but like I said, this is from the back side of the flower, not the top. And working on the little grassy end area of the field. Using variety of shots of camera to show the it's how transparent it is on this surface and how light it is coming out of the paint. Of course, I'm using my favorite brush, the goat hair brush. But also, I want to point out that I'm not staying on the line. This is abstract approach. I'm not after realistic daisies. This is just like impression what's going on and how the flowers will floating in a field and staring the sunset or watching the sunset and the little grassy area, the shadows. So when you go on the field and look at the flowers, not necessarily daisies, but in this case daisies, you will see the whole bunch of colors and the blades are kind of like moving when wind is pushing them in the different directions. And that's one of my touches of little colors to make this idea of movement of the flowers and all the fields, and then give this idea, hey, we're watching sunset. This in this close-up I want to show you how many hard edges or cauliflower edges you can see it. In normal circumstances you will say, oh, that's not good, but I'm especially going after those hard edges to give the little rough and grassy look. And on the finished painting, you will actually that we will not see them exactly like you're seeing right now. Okay, time for inking. I'm gonna use a dip pen and waterproof ink. This time will be black. I just want, and that's my little container. I put the container in a little jar because I don't want to spill on top of the painting. And this is a little bit larger painting than normal I'm doing in watercolor, so I'll be around that. Just the dip ink give me the idea. possibility of changing the lines or thickness of the lines. So right now I'm working on the petals of the daisies, and later on I'll be using a different type of inks. Just so I chose the black one because I want to have a little darker edges, and in this close-up you can see it, how the variety of lines. I'm not staying with my original uh, pencil line. It's just like I said, this is abstract and this is my feelings, how the moment I feel, and that's let the tool float and make a little jaggy line. And right now this is like lifting, and this surface is fantastic for lifting. There, it's much better than any watercolor paper. So if you love paint, this is the surface to work for. Yeah, a little bit more drama. And I'm using the sponge to clean my brush, and the water, sponge, lift, and so on. Okay, so there'll be more inking and just little stems and little lines and more lines to make a little, action what's going on. I was saying that, I was trying to do the a little bit darker, but then I realized that I have to use a gouache paint and then to make it a little bit darker than when I want to watercolor itself and do it. So I'm showing you what color I was using to mixing here and there. Basically, it will be combination of on gouaches and watercolors with attachment of lines in with the ink. I'm using bristle brush for just dry brushing with a gouache paint. For the lines, I'll be using acrylic ink. It's a little bit more opaque than regular ink. Of course, my favorite dip ink. And the reason I'm doing brown amber because it's a little bit lighter than black ink, and that's what I want. I don't want the lines overpower the rest of the painting, so there will be, you can see them a lot in the close-ups, but from the distance they will just kind of disappear. They're just like you when you're looking the grass in a field. They just like it's there but not there in a, so this is in a close-up. I want to show you how those lines are working. There will be like little spider webs, little spiders, some little lines here and more. I just love that doing them, so I decided to go with a burn number. And some of my art collectors don't like to put the painting on the glass, so for them I'm gonna seal it with a wax sealer. And then this is what I'm showing right now, the watercolor grant done by, in this case, Daniel Smith. And I'm gonna seal it, so there will be like here it is. That's a gambling wax sealer or varnish, and they will be just like waterproof, like acrylic or oils. Okay, there you have it. It's a finished painting, and I hope you like the presentation, and see you next time in a painting board. Keep painting.